Hello, my friends. Do you want to know how Hollywood stars maintain their nice physique and still stay healthy? Do you want to know what is the simplest way we can do from our day-to-day life in our diet so that we can just be like them, have a nice physique and still stay healthy? Guess what? You're right. The simplest way we can do to achieve that is by totally eliminating sugar out of our diet. Don't worry, I'll pick this up later. So, if you are a person who really care about your health and really care about how you look like in front of the mirror, please keep watching, because this video could possibly transform your life. A few days ago, I came across an interview from Hollywood star Tom Hopper. Tom has been featured in Men's Health magazine. He also starred in a couple famous TV programs such as Game of Thrones and Black Sails. He also stars in movies including I Feel Pretty and Q Ratio. Now I'm going to play this video clip from his famous TV show Black Sails. At the time he shot Black Sails, he went through a trained body training and diet program. At the time he consumed 0 carb and 0 fat, just pure protein diet. And as you can see, he was able to achieve excellent physique. However, he also suffered from low testosterone and low sex drive. And he also felt weak from time to time. That is why he later decided to focus more on his own health and improving his longevity instead of just focusing on his own physique. And he decided the one most important step toward his health, that is by eliminating entirely the highly processed food and refined sugar from his own diet. Hi, my name is Tony Lin. I'm the founder of FoodKarma. FoodKarma is an app will help motivate you to eat less highly processed food and refined sugar. By using the FoodKarma app, you will be able to achieve what Tom Hopper is able to achieve today. If you are a person who cares about your health, who always care about your longevity, and the FoodKarma is an app for you. Please click the link in my post where you will be able to download the app, and we are also going to explain you how FoodKarma is going to motivate you to eat fewer highly processed food and refined sugar. For now, let's start watching this amazing interview video from Tom Hopper. He gonna explain how he was able to achieve his longevity and staying healthy and still maintain a nice physique at the same time by eliminating highly processed food and refined sugar entirely from his diet. Let's get started.
I've been there. I used to eat like so much junk, man. Like all the time.
Like
I
what?
ate Krispy Kreme donuts.
Krispy Kremes?
You name it. Oh, you name it, dude. Everything. And so the reason I can say it, and I can say now this side is better and so much better, is because I've been there and I've eaten all that stuff. I've been very unhealthy. I even used to smoke at times. And this is like so this is like a different me now.
Yeah.
This is way in the past. And in a way, I'm happy that I did that, because it was strong enough in the opposite direction for me to make a massive change and go, I want to be like this now.
Right. Now, the question is, have you ever had a smoke and a Krispy Kreme at the same time?
And then after that, I did 3 years on that show, and then I got Black Sails, and we got put on an incredibly rigorous training regime for that thing and a really intense diet, which looking back on now, in terms of health, I would not necessarily recommend the diet or the intensity of the training regime, but it served a purpose to get us looking the way that we did. So when I was doing that, I became obsessed with it. Mm-hmm. I have a slightly obsessive personality anyway, but I became obsessed with becoming as lean as I could be, maintaining the most amount of muscle mass. Whatever it was, I just wanted to achieve that for the show. We all did. We were all in it together, you know, all the guys on that show. And after that, I with that obsession came the obsession into the diet and why I was doing it and what did what. Mm-hmm. So as I started to learn more about it, I started to realize that there was, you know, certain choices that I was making that weren't necessarily that healthy. Mm. And my wife, actually, Laura, was the one was saying, is all this that healthy for you? It's quite intense. And, you know, with the training regime, I realized that my sex drive had dropped. Mm. Certain weird things like that. And the high intensity workouts that I was doing every single day. And I was on incredibly low carb diet. Like we were on virtually no carbs and virtually no fat, high protein. But we just became quite skinny and gaunt. Yeah. No sugar at all, no refined sugar, no sugar from fruit, no carbs, nothing. And I became really quite skinny and I felt weak all the time. So that's when it came into my head that I wanted to start looking into the health side of things. And just from listening to podcasts like yourself and watching people like Mark Sissons, Tim Ferriss, these kind of guys, just listening to people, like that's what I love about the internet now, is that you mentioned it before about social media. There's so many people out there that have this wealth of knowledge that you can just go on and get the best information in the world, right?
Amazing.
It's just the best. So I started doing that and became really educated from just listening to the experts and started making my own choices. And, you know, one thing led to another, and it became a thing where I decided that I wasn't going to eat things that were going to harm my longevity, harm my health, harm, my performance, all these things. So I tried to find what was best for me. Yeah. So I ended up doing various different diets, so to speak. I don't like to call them diets because I feel like a diet is a term that means it's only for a certain amount of time. Mm. So certain lifestyle changes, I suppose. So I did paleo, I did keto, I did all these different diets that are out there. And all of them worked to a certain degree, but I found that the ones that worked best for me was when I just had a moderation of everything that was of the earth, I call it. So anything like that you can get from the ground, from a tree, and not processed and organic, I found was the best way for me. And interestingly, it had a massive effect on things like cardiovascular health. I found like my cardio, I'm not the kind of guy who just goes and runs on a treadmill. I don't do that. I like to do much more functional stuff. But if I needed to, like if I go and run now for a long distance, I don't practice long distance cardio. But because of my overall health that's been improved over the last 5 years of not eating any processed food, not eating refined sugar, I found that my overall health has just gone up by like 30, 40%. Mm. And from that, for me, there was no other way to live my life. And one thing actually, Sean, while I'm talking about it, is one thing that I'd love to talk with you about on this is how I feel about sugar and sugar in general.
Yeah.
Because I feel that sugar is something that a lot of the world isn't educated about. And you have tried so much on this show to talk about sugar and what it does to your body. And me and my very good friend Keegan Allen is on a show called Pretty Little Liars. And him and myself, and we've had this thing that we call our war on sugar for a while, where everywhere we go, we're asking, if things got sugar in. And it's become this thing where everywhere you go, it's very hard to avoid. And it's actually, in my opinion, it was the biggest step I made to having overall health, was taking refined sugar out of my diet. I found that things like headaches stopped, joint pain stopped. This huge amount of sort of inflammation, I suppose, in my body got reduced.